Hey guys, I'm Chelsea and welcome to Jade Higher Consciousness Through Movement. In this video, I'm going to be guiding you through the first of my yoga video series. I'm calling it the Grounding Power Series. Let's get into it. For this class, all you're going to need is a total of 2 blocks. You may or may not use them, but it's great to have them on hand. Make sure your blocks are completely similar and just have them close by. We're going to begin today's practice at the front of our mat in Tadasana mountain pose. So finding the feet at hips width distance and pulling up and out through the hips, rotate the palms forward, let the shoulders draw down and back. Let the eyelids fall slightly, finding your drishti focus just beyond your mat. Starting to come into your breath. From Tadasana, inhale the arms up overhead, reaching up through the sides of the body. Exhale, drift the hands to heart center, exhaling the breath. A second time we inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, expel the breath. A third time we inhale and sweep. Reaching up and out of the hips, exhale, draw the right arm down, the left fingertips reach high to the ceiling, taking the eyes up. I want you to imagine as though you're hanging by your wrist from the ceiling, drawing the shoulder back and down. Inhale the right arm up overhead, both hands drift to heart center, exhale. Inhale, sweep, lengthening through the sides of the body. Exhale, this time left arm reaches down as right fingertips reach high. Draw that shoulder back and down, creating space through the neck. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, drifting hands to heart's center. Last time, inhale and sweep, reaching out through the fingertips, lifting through the sides of the body, expanding across the clavicle. Exhale, circle the arms back, bend the elbows, draw the shoulders away from the ears. Taking the hands to the backs of the knees, low on the thighs here. I'm going to show you guys a profile view for standing cat-cow. From here, inhale, arch the back, crown and the tail reach towards one another. Exhale, push through the tops of the thighs, curving through the tail, navel to the spine, head drops last. Really exaggerating the curve. Inhale, arch the back, press through the thighs, lift the heart. Exhale, pull in, navel to spine, head is the last to drop. Inhale, roll and arch. Exhale, pull and curve, as slow and sequential as possible. Inhale, roll and arch. Last time, exhale and pressing through the feet to stand back at Tadasana. We'll begin into Surya Namaskar, Sun Salutation A. Inhale the arms up overhead, meeting the palms at the top. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, bend the knees, step or hop back, lowering through Chaturanga Dandasana. Eyes slightly forward, press through the balls of the feet, bringing the heart through the crown of the head to the ceiling. Pike at the hips, flip the feet, send the tailbone to the high diagonal. 5 neutralizing breaths here. Spreading through the fingers and the toes, pressing down through the knuckles, pulling up through the center of the hands, taking the weight out of the wrists. We don't want to collapse into the joints ever. Letting the head feel heavy. On an inhale, bend the knees, take the eyes forward. Walk or hop towards the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway up, hands pressed to shins. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Bend the knees and drop the hips, press through the feet, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, roll the shoulders back and down, finding a strong mountain pose. A second time, inhale, palms reach up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, bend through the legs is okay. Inhale, halfway up, lead with the crown of the head, pull the navel to the spine, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Walk back to the top of a push-up, high plank position. Inhale. Keeping the elbows in, exhale, lower through Chaturanga Dandasana, keeping the eyes slightly forward. Tuck the toes, lift the heart into Cobra, drawing those elbows in, shoulders down. Exhale, drop the heart, tuck the toes, press the hips back to heels. Find downward facing dog. Let the head be nice and weighted here in your down dog. Taking your eyes back towards your feet, letting the heels buoyantly fall towards the mat without force. Allowing the shoulder blades to relax down into place, drawing down the back of the body. Pressing down into the knuckles, spreading through the fingers and the toes. On an inhale, bend the knees, drift the eyes forward, step or hop towards the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees and drop the hips. Roll up to find your Tadasana, mountain pose. From your downward facing dog, you're going to rise up on the balls of the feet. Send the shoulders over the wrists as you curve through the upward back. Exhale, flatten the back and bend the knees, eyes forward. Slightly sending the tailbone back and then extending through the legs and dropping the head. So again, we inhale, rise and roll, bend and flatten, send the tailbone long and extend through the legs. One more time like this. Rise, roll, bend and flatten. Send the tailbone long and extend through the legs. From here, we'll rise and roll. Walk the feet back, find high plank position. Hike at the hips, walk slightly in down dog. Rise and roll. Small steps back, top of the push-up, eyes slightly forward. Hike at the hips, slightly walking in back to down dog. One more time, rise, roll, step back, top of a push-up. Exhale, pike at the hips, slightly step in. Okay, knees down. I'm going to turn to face you just so that you can see me a little bit better. We're going to move into Tadasana. So my toes are tucked. I'm going to send my weight over the heels as I turn out through my knees, trying to bring the heels towards one another. So this turnout might not look just as mine, it might be much more narrow, and that's totally fine. Starting to stack the vertebrae over vertebrae, rotating the palms forward, finding balance in Tadasana. So we have a sturdy, grounded lower half, while the upper half simply floats into place. Not too much applied effort up top, just the act of simply stacking the vertebrae will help you to find everything in its right place. Maintaining a drishti focus somewhere beyond your mat. Good, we'll take a break. Bending the knees together, untuck the toes, sit back on your heels. So now we're going to take the arms in a wide V, bringing your pointer finger and thumbs together. Just finding a nice mudra that feels good here. Roll the shoulders back and draw the shoulder blades towards one another. So super active on the back side of the body. From here, my eyes are looking straight forward. I'm going to press up, opening through my hips, my hip flexors, continuing to pull the shoulder blades towards one another. Active through the fingertips as I reach up, up, up. Halfway up, my eyes drop. I continue to reach out through the fingertips, dropping the head, really firing up the posterior side of the body. Letting the head hang, finding your breath, closing the lips. Focusing through the discomfort. On an exhale, lengthen through the fingertips, start to lower, lift the eyes, and sit back on the heels, letting all the blood drain through the body and renew and refresh. So you start to feel an energizing flow of blood through the arms, maybe even through the legs. I'll take you through those steps again. Prapadavarasana, finding that low V position, mudra of choice. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Eyes are straight forward. Press up through the shins, through the tops of the feet to open the hips. Continue to draw the shoulder blades in. Reach out through the fingertips. About halfway, your eyes start to drop down. Continue reaching out actively through the fingertips as your head falls down. Extremely active through the backside of the body. Rely on your breath here to maintain concentration. Two more breaths. Retrograding the movement, we lengthen to lower the hands, start to lift the eyes, and sit back on the heels. Starting to refresh and renew a sense of balance and energy through the body. Now we're going to work with Garudasana, eagle pose on the upper half of the body each way to really counteract that movement of Prapadavarasana. So at first we had the shoulder blades squeezing together, working towards one another to actively create strength inward. And now we're going to counteract that movement, working eagle pose, feeling the shoulder blades completely separate and broaden across the body, creating a really expansive backside. So here we go. We'll find that low V position. I'm going to mirror you. Right arm goes behind the left. So if this feels like too much, you can always come to the shoulders. You can also bring the backs of the hands together. But if you're able to, cross as much as possible, trying to get the palms towards one another and the pinky side of the right hand, or the left hand, facing forward. So here I want you to lift up through the elbows and pull the wrists away from your face, creating as much of a box-like position of the arms. So immediately you'll start to experience the expanse of the backside of the body. I want you to actually apply intention by imagining the shoulder blades pulling away from one another. Pressing through the tops of the feet and the shins to arrive for 2 more breaths up top. Rely on your breath to carry you from one moment to the next. Exhale, slowly sit back on the heels, untangling the limbs. Now the other side, so we'll take the left arm behind the right now. Swing to catch either shoulders, backs of the hands, or fully crossing, palms reaching towards one another, bringing the knife edge, the pinky side of that right arm to face the front, pulling the wrists away from the eyes, away from that third eye, from the forehead, and then lifting up through the elbows on bottom. Imagining the expanse of the shoulder blades as they pull away from one another, completely counteracting the movement from our last posture in Prapadavarasana. Rising up on the shins, on the knees. Compressing the joints as much as possible. Exhale, sit back on the heels, untangle the arms, roll the shoulders, maybe just let the hands rest to the thighs. Meeting up in downward facing dog, making sure your blocks are towards the front of the mat if you need them through this sequence. Bringing the big toes to touch. We'll inhale the right leg up and back, keeping that right hip folded down, dialing that right pinky toe down, really active through a parallel right leg. Exhale, draw the knee towards the nose, create space in the front, step down. Anchor the back heel, heel to heel connection. Inhale, arrive to warrior one. Trying to get those shoulders squared off to the front. The hips are going to be slightly open, that's all right here. Deep breathing. Really powerful through that back left leg. Pressing the perimeter of the back foot down firmly into the mat. Dropping the tailbone towards the center of both legs. On an exhale, we'll open up into a Warrior Two position. Here in Warrior Two, the legs expand a little further away from each other, so we have a wider stance. The tailbone is totally dropped evenly between both legs. Taking the eyes over that front middle finger as you try to veer that front knee out and the back rib cage open. Finding powerful breath here. On an inhale, reach forward, flip the palm. Exhale, keep that bent knee, reverse warrior. Reaching to the high diagonal behind you into the back space, creating length through the right side body. Lifting up and out of that right hip as much as possible. Exhale, bend through the arms, passing back through Warrior Two. Inhale. Exhale, windmill the arms down, rotate to the ball of the back foot, step back, inhale, high plank position. Exhale, lower through Chaturanga, taking the vinyasa of your choice. Modifications are always welcome. Other side, inhale, send the left leg high, flexing through the left foot, power that left hip down, dial that pinky toe down as well. Nice and parallel through the legs just as before. Exhale, draw the knee towards the nose, create space in the front to step down. Anchor the back heel, inhale, arrive, Warrior One. So as you bend into that front leg, make sure you're adjusting as needed so that that knee is over the ankle. We never want to exceed that. So the hips are going to open slightly. I want the shoulders to square off to the front. Exhale, open Warrior Two, expanding your stance. We've got a heel to arch connection now, different from Warrior One. Heel to heel versus heel to arch. Dropping that tailbone down, creating an expanse across the clavicle and arms, an extension of the chest. Taking the eyes over the front middle finger. Again, on this side, we're making sure that the knee is tracking over the toes and the right rib cage pulled open in opposition. On an inhale, reach forward, flip the palm. Exhale, reach up and back to the back space, creating a long and lengthened left side body. Exhale, peel back into Warrior Two. Inhale. Exhale, windmill the arms down, coming to the ball of the back foot. Inhale, step back, high plank. Let me show you a modification this time. Knees down, eyes drift forward, untuck toes, hips slide back. Little cobra. Exhale, drop the chest, tuck the toes. Strengthen the arms to push hips to heels. And meet in down dog. That's your modification if you want that instead. One more time to each side, a bit quicker. Big toes come to touch. Inhale, sweep back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, drift forward. Warrior One. Anchor the back heel, press the outer back foot into the mat. Exhale, open Warrior Two, expanse across the chest, arms an extension of the chest. Inhale, reach forward, flip the palm to the front space. Exhale, reach up to go back, reverse warrior. Exhale, bend through the elbow, coming back into Warrior Two. Inhale where you are. Exhale, windmill down. Inhale, step back. Full vinyasa. Meet you up in downward facing dog. Last progression through this sequence. Big toes come to touch. Inhale, left leg up and back. Active flexed back foot. Exhale, using the left hand if you need a little help, always okay. Heel to heel connection, inhale. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward, flip the palm. Exhale, gather the space to reach up and back. Exhale, peel through the elbow, warrior two, inhale. Exhale, windmill down, follow the back foot. Inhale, step back, powerful plank. Exhale, lower through chaturanga, elbows graze the sides. Inhale, and exhale. From here, we'll lower the knees, separating them. Bring the big toes together, lengthen the arms forward, rest the forehead into the mat. Continue to breathe here in child's pose. I want you to actually visualize the back of the rib cage in motion. So with every inhale, feeling the expanse of the rib cage, and every exhale, the decompression of the lungs. Slowly walking your arms up, meeting back in downward facing dog. Again, we'll bring the big toes to touch. Inhale the right leg up and back, parallel leg. Exhale, send the right knee through, create space between the hands. Set up a high crescent lunge. My knee over the front ankle, tucking the tail slightly, dropping into that deep lunge. Imagining vertical circular energy here through the torso. We're going to transition forward into a warrior three. Watch this carefully. My arms lengthen down as I hinge at the right hip. Lead with the crown of my head forward. Starting to lean into that front leg until I take off completely. Finding warrior three position. Roll that left hip down. Finding long arms at the sides. Reaching the tailbone towards the back left heel. Inhale to vertical. Inhale, arms up overhead. Taking a full vinyasa. Exhale. Taking the other side, left leg up and back. Exhale, thread the left knee through, creating a wide stance, a wide runner's lunge. Inhale up to high crescent lunge. I want you to feel that opening of the right hip flexor in front with a slight tuck of the tail. So you'll really feel a lot of work here. I also want you to pull that left hip back as you pull the right slightly forward so that the pelvic region is fully supported. We're going to need to maintain that support as we transition forward into warrior three. Arms come down by the sides, hinging at the hips, creating a long torso, shifting forward, bending into that front leg, and taking flight into warrior three. Think about opening through the back of the right knee as you create this capital T. Inhale to vertical. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. So meet me favoring your front of the mat just a little bit. We're going to find Utkatasana, chair pose. So when we do chair pose, I like to skim the fingertips to remind myself how low I really should be. Just stopping the arms first at shoulders height. So the weight is falling back into the heels. If you were to take your eyes down, you can slightly see your toes peeking out past your knees. And then from this place, first of all, you're pulling the navel towards the spine, the torso totally engaged, slightly at an angle, hinging at the hips. And if this place can be maintained fairly easily, maybe inhaling the arms towards the ears without obstructing the integrity of the rest of the body. Inhale, press up through the feet, open across the chest, reach up, up, up. Exhale, bend the elbows, creating goalposts with the arms. Roll the shoulders back, creating a strong shelf in cactus pose. So a lot of power through the shoulders here, a lot of power through the palms, flaring through the fingertips. Just creating a strong, broad upper body. Exhale, circle the arms down. A second time, skim the fingertips, finding Utkatanasana, chair pose. First with arms at shoulders height, really building that integrity through the lower half of the body, pulling up through the pelvic floor, lower ribs pulled in, abdominals engaged. If you can maintain that with your torso, possibility to inhale the arms up at the ears, biceps hugging inward. Press through the feet, rise up, open the armpits, reach out through the fingertips. Exhale, bend the elbows, drop the shoulders, create resistance downward as you expand across the chest. I'm just going to give you a frontal view here. So from Utkatanasana chair pose, you'd press through the feet to rise, inhale. Exhale, create that resistance downward. The shoulder blades pull down. I'm feeling resistance down, engagement across my whole chest, across the arms out into the elbows, power through the palms, flare through the fingers. Exhale, circle the arms back. Now, we're going to create a wide straddle across our mat. Hands come to the hips here. Practicing folding through a flat back. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips, reach out through the crown of the head. The weight drifts back into the heels, elbows reaching to the sides. From here, arms reach out to the sides actively, fingertips reaching in opposition. Exhale, fold completely. Create peace fingers between the big toe and second toe, pulling your body down. Elbows draw in, shoulders relax, head drops completely. Really pulling the fingertips into the big toes and the big toes into the fingertips to create equal resistance here. Reversing the movement, release the peace fingers, bringing the hands to hips, thumbs behind, forefingers forward. Inhale, reach through the crown of the head, pass through a flat back all the way to standing. A second time, this time, inhale, arms out to the sides. Exhale, lower just as before. Reach the fingertips in, pull the rib cage in. Exhale, pour forward. This time, fingertips in line with the toes. Draw the elbows in and drop the head down. Inhale, reach forward with the crown of the head, arms out to the sides, arrive all the way to standing. This time, last time, interlace the fingers at the low back. Roll the shoulders, lift the chest, feel that stretch down the arms. Exhale, a third time, we pour forward, bringing the wrists up away from the low back. Letting the head hang heavy and getting into the shoulder girdle here, stretching the shoulders. Letting gravity do the work. Allowing the body to fall into place, getting that nice stretch without force. Practicing non-judgment along the way. Lead with the wrists up towards the ceiling. Pressing through the feet equally all the way back up. Exhale, release. Okay guys, we're going to work a side plank series with an inversion of a headstand. And if headstand is not in your practice, then I encourage you to just do dolphin pose. So here we go, just follow along. Coming to the forearms. Send the feet back, finding a plank position. So I want you to pull the wrists away from each other, creating parallel forearms here. The tendency will be for your fingers to interlace, and I want you to fight that urge and separate your hands, creating a nice wide frame. Coming up to your hands one at a time. We're going to bring the left hand towards the center, rotating the hips open, aligning arms over one another. Shoulders are totally stacked, finding a side plank position. Keep pulling up and out, away from the earth, pressing through that supportive arm, lifting up through the left side body, making sure everything is nice and stacked. Circle the right arm forward, coming back to that neutral high plank, lowering one arm at a time back to that forearm plank. From here, transitioning into dolphin or headstand. So dolphin, your feet just walk straight up, taking your eyes back to your toes. Press out of the shoulders to really engage the core here, creating that upside down V similar to a downward facing dog, but this time really targeting the upper body, the core, the shoulder girdle in particular. And if you're working with headstand, it's okay to interlace the hands together to create a place to move from, sending the hips up overhead, and then taking whatever trajectory you need to arrive into headstand. Slowly lowering back to that V, walking the feet out, finding that elbow plank position. Coming up into high plank, right hand comes to the center, rotate the other direction. Stacking the shoulders, pulling the right side body away from the earth, pushing out of the right hand, out of the right shoulder. Everything is stacked and nice and tidy and aligned. Circle the arm forward, coming to the forearms, taking either dolphin or headstand, or dolphin then headstand. So those interlaced fingers create a bit of a basket for the head to balance in headstand. Exhale, pike at the hips, send the toes towards the mat. Walk the feet back. Forearm position, inhale. Exhale, lower the knees. Take yourself a child's pose. Okay guys, meet me down on the floor. We've got a little bit of floor work here as we round out our power series. So we're going to get into some core work and then a little bit of stretch before our final Shavasana. We're going to find a reclined position, lengthening our feet up. So I want the knees, the shins all over the hips here. And then we're going to lengthen the right leg forward. Interlace all but the index finger to create this position. Biceps by the ears, tuck the chin to the chest, and press the low back into the mat. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, switch. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, left. Inhale, switch. That's one each side. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, switch legs. Reach the toes to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, twist right. Inhale. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, switch one more time each side. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, neutral. Press that low back to the ground. Exhale, twist right. Inhale and switch. Exhale, twist right. Inhale and neutral. Exhale, left. Inhale, back. Gather the knees into the chest. Big sigh of relief here. Relaxing the neck. Maybe swaying side to side. Letting that low back get a nice little massage into the mat. We're going to plant the right foot down and cross that left ankle over knee. Letting the left knee fall out, flop out. This might be enough, but if you want a little bit more,
Reaching through that negative space of the triangle and the outside of the thigh to grab underneath that right thigh and intensify the stretch. Exhale, lower the right foot down. Cross knee over knee, taking everything over to the side. Oof, might get a lot of popping and cracking. Try to keep that left shoulder open. Inhale the legs back to the center, untangle the legs. Now we'll take the other side. We cross the right ankle over the left knee. Just let the right knee fall out, flop out, hang out. And then reach to either side of the left thigh to intensify the stretch if you want. Otherwise, keeping the left foot down is completely appropriate. Lower the left foot back to the mat, crossing knee over knee, either once or twice, depending on your hip mobility. Arms out to the sides and let the knees fall over to the left now. Oh my gosh. Whoa, lots of popping and cracking. Feels awesome. Keeping that right shoulder open. Settling into this recline twist. Inhale the knees back to the center. Untangle your legs and lengthen them out long. Arms long by the sides, palms rotating up to the ceiling. Allow your body to totally take space. Do whatever you need to be comfortable. Maybe shield your eyes from the lights. And just feeling the softness of your body falling inward, absorbing into your mat. Start to breathe life back into your body. Roll over to one side and start to lift your torso calmly. Coming into a comfortable seat. Observing deep gratitude for your ability to be here and to work your bodies, to cleanse your minds, and to connect in body, mind, and spirit. Continue granting yourself this gift of self-care every day. Bring your hands to heart center. Namaste.
Thank you guys so much for being here for the Grounding Power series. I hope it sends you forward into the rest of your day, feeling like you can tackle whatever is on your plate and just be the very best version of yourself. I'm Chelsea, creator of Jade High, Higher Consciousness Through Movement. I'll see you next time.